in sympathy to those vibrations.
Exactly.
That resonance that you talk about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Carr, after the experiment, Carr, the way he briefed us on things was just, we'd sit down and have a cup of coffee, you know, and but he'd come out with this wonderful stuff that, you know, just about the laws of nature and how they are, that is our whole essence. And if we ignore it, we're in trouble. You've got to understand these laws and how they work for anything. If you want a comfortable life, a good life, a happy life, and especially if you want to get anywhere in technology, you can't use brute force. Mm-hmm. And I had told him about advanced kinetics and everything, and he kind of laughed and he said, no. He said that he told me a lot. He'd worked with Tesla, mm-hmm. and he'd known, you know, him for a while and worked with him. And I guess by now you already know about the story of Tesla going to J.P. Morgan and
when he showed the wireless tower how to transmit power wirelessly, and he says it's a real good idea, but how are we going to stick a meter on it?
Yeah, exactly.
The essence of we are in control is really astounding, and he definitely sent the message.
No more, he said, if we go your way, Tesla, we'll have no more copper mills, no more lumber, you know, these trees for telephone poles and wire. And he said, well, that's the idea. You can stick a pole in the ground 30 feet and 30 feet, and I'll show you. We can get electricity anywhere. It's all around us. We're living in it. And Morgan said, no way, Tesla. There's no money in that.
J.P. Morgan, from what I understand, was also one of the first... one of the pioneers in the military-industrial complex. He was the man. And soon afterward, he pretty much picked up the bat phone to the Washington and said, hey, we got this loose cannon on our hands, and the implications of the conversations pretty much took care of burying Tesla from thenceforth. And I guess from what I understand from reading some of the journals, they gathered up all his equipment and they shipped it off to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And then I guess they put him up in a hotel in Waldorf, Astoria, and gave him government stipend, and the agents were always on the prowling everywhere, interrupting his conversations and pretty much filtering out any connection with the outside world to him.
Did Carr mention what happened to Tesla? Did he talk to you guys about that?
Tesla became discouraged because of the lack of interest in what, I mean, he'd take them a new idea or bring out a new idea and show them the simplicity. There's nothing to it. And they'd say, well, there's no money in it. Forget it. I mean, and everything he'd bring up, So it was Carr's point of view that the Tesla was discouraged, but did Carr sort of relate his being hounded by the military or being, shadowed and so on Tesla?
As being this, what happened to Carr as being the same thing that happened to Tesla?
Yeah.
In other words, did he talk about that at all, Carr, before he died?
Well, I guess, I don't know. Carr didn't talk too much about the threats or anything that Tesla had, but I was under the impression talking to Carr that there were many, many things happening that were trying to keep Tesla under wraps, trying to keep him quiet.
Uh-huh.
And Tesla had told him at one time, he says, I may never make it in this generation to get these ideas out, but this is all just free energy. Free is, you got four elements, the sun, the water, the earth, and the air. They're all free. They have been forever, and they always will be, and we're not using them. We're inventing ways to put meters on them and sell them. They even were selling air at one time, and now they're selling water. And
who would have thought?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Tesla told him, all this that I'm sharing with you, and he thought Carr was brilliant. He thought that he was grasping everything that Tesla was telling him, because Carr had been into nature for years himself. He said, if I don't make it, or when I don't make it, he said, I probably won't make it, you take it and pass it on. And if you don't make it, pass it on. But this is, it's going to get worse because they've already challenged nature. Man, way back there, had challenged nature, and what goes around comes around. Natural law. It will come back on them.
Basically, Carr did exactly what Tesla asked him to do.
Yes.
He took it forward.
Yeah.
In a sense, you are taking forward what Carr.
Oh, you bet.
What Carr. I mean, you seem to be the person, that's like a descendant of Carr in that line. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
it's so amazing to me that you're so unknown.
Well, there was many reasons for that.
Because we would like to actually know why you're so unknown. You know what I mean?
Okay, I will tell you. They were all hit and miss, but Carr was always on, and I'd stay up all night. We'd be looking at the stars and talk all night, and never need any sleep. I mean, I'd go to work the next day and just feel pumped up all the time talking to this guy. I mean, he would just, wow. And I said, don't worry, we're going to get this thing going here. And he said, they're closing in. They know he's in California now. And we were on some of our experiments on some of the crafts. We operated different principles, and some of them would create a corona around the outside of the. Mm-hmm. We'd operate these little.
The dielectric principles
right.
of the ionization process. Mm-hmm.
And so, even though it was daylight, sometimes you'd see these things, and the people in the valley were that was the era of flying saucers and stuff. So they thought, oh my God, this place has got flying saucers around here and stuff. Well, that and the fact that the powers that were trying to reduce Carr's activities was following him, trying to find him. So he said, well, we're just going to have to keep working on this. Carr had made arrangements, and I went with him to meet with a representative of General Motors car company. And that, I think it was either Riverside or, I think it was Riverside. The guy committed to meet with Carr, because Carr told him a few things that interested him. And so I went with him, and Rapolti was there. And I think Aho was there. And in a very precise way, Carr said, we can levitate these machines now. There's no, we're get off the earth. We're killing a lot of animals. We're destroying the plant life. He says, within a year we'll have these things going, and we can start with the automobile. That's obsolete. We can get these things going. And then the homes, and which is my interest. I've always wanted, why not? Like the Jetsons, for instance, floating homes, and then maybe cities, and then maybe, countries. Who knows the end of it? But this guy got real aggressive and said, you put them up there, Carr, and we'll shoot them down. That was his words. You put them up and we'll shoot them down.
Wow.
And I was flabbergasted, like, well, why? What?
Mm-hmm.
He says, well, you're advocating an energy field that that there's no money involved. We can't,
We have no means of controlling it. It was his premise here,
right?
No doubt.
Because you're pulling energy out of the air, which is all around us, and using that to transport or teleport or whatever.
So he basically, you guys just walked out of there and said, okay, what did Carr say? Did he say, okay, I won't do it anymore? Or did he say, what did Carr say? I'm just curious after that.
I don't remember his exact words, but it was very
sort of a
humble.
standoff.
It was very good the way he said
Oh,
it to
really?
this guy. Yeah, he said, he says, it's only a matter of time till it comes back and
you can't stop us. You
Yeah.
can't stop it.
Yeah, it's here. Whether it's here today or tomorrow, it's here, and it's rapidly approaching the point where it has to be, not want to be, but has to be. And he said, I'm sorry you don't, see our point, because we were willing to work with you. You could fund us, and we could show you what we could do. The guy wasn't interested, so we just left. And that was another acquaintance that I had with the system that we live in. I mean, I could never accept. We went back to Apple Valley and said,